A very warm welcome to each and every one of you, Grade 12 Cookery Bee. At last, this beautiful day has arrived. I am sure that you all have been eagerly waiting for this day for a new learning in the homeroom guidance class. I am your advisor, Mrs. Pagirigan, which will be handling the subject. Homeroom Guidance Quarter 1 Module 3 is entitled Thinking Aloud My Decisions. Learning objectives. At the end of this module, you are expected to number 1. Identify the factors that affect the right and wrong actions or decisions. Number 2. Recognize the tendencies of every individual to make right and wrong decisions or actions. Number 3. Analyze situations that depict tendencies of making right and wrong decisions or actions. Module 2 is entitled Accepting Individuality of Others. In the previous module, you learned how to accept others' individuality. You even formulated your personal policies or guidelines to uphold acceptance and respect of people's differences at times. Within every group of people, there are similarities and differences among individuals. Some of these are obvious, while others are not. It is important to recognize and respect your similarities with and differences from the people around you in order to strengthen your relationship with them. In the succeeding slides, you can see the pictures of diverse people. On the first slide, you can see the different traditions of respect done by the Filipino, which is pagmamanong. Others would prefer beso-beso and nodding when you see someone as a sign of respect. There is also a picture of a child helping the old woman cross the street. A child helping the old woman to go inside by opening the doors. And there are also some people who have more siblings or a big family. I, you, we, respecting similarities and differences. Somebody can dance, can cook, can use musical instruments. Some are intelligent, some can play piano, some can sing, but we are all different, so we should not be bothered if someone possesses that characteristics. This last slide, we can see the other similarities and differences, like there are people who are community workers who can, like the health workers who serve for the pandemic, they have the chance to help the sick. Some like movies, others have a talent to draw, they can swim, other people love reading books while others don't like, other people have disabilities, and other people, like shown in the picture, the drivers were affected by the pandemic, so they were asking for help in the streets. Begin with an open mind. Be willing to hear and learn about others' views, beliefs, culture, or values. This gives you the opportunity to establish connection with others and have a wide understanding of the world in which we live in. Accept others for who they are. Acceptance is the ability to see that others have a right to be their own unique persons. This will help you develop empathy, a skill that will help you to do better understanding for those who are different from you. Value the differences. Appreciating our similarities and differences is vital in creating a community that is united amidst diversity. Remember, our differences are what makes us unique and special. Together, we can do so much when our abilities are combined. Listen closely. Focus on what others are saying and sharing. Pay attention to their emotions and try to understand where they're coming from. We learn when we listen to one another. Seek understanding instead of questioning the validity of other person's opinions or belief. Ask questions and be curious. Genuinely try to understand others and make them feel respected. Respect. In this module, you are up to another insightful learning episode. You will delve into the decision-making process. Remember that you are free to choose a course of action from among various alternatives. However, your choice has consequences, and you are responsible for your own actions. You will encounter some factors that may affect your sound decision making, like past experiences, biases, current situation or setup, and individual differences. Read the story of Anton, a senior high school graduate. Anton's indecisiveness. Anton, who took up the general academic strand in senior high school, has a hard time deciding what course to enroll in college. He graduated with honors and has received special citations. He is great in science and math, but he is also into arts and graphic designing. He was told by his parents to decide for his course since colleges are already closing admission and the school opening is approaching fast. He is spending night analyzing his options. Sometimes he barely sleeps over analyzing all considerations. There are also pressures from his friends for him to join them in the university where there are a wide variety of science courses that he can choose from. He also considers suggestions of his teachers who see his potential in graphic designing and multimedia arts. Anton really wants to enroll in the most prestigious school to study in the course that perfectly fits him. After thorough self-deliberation, he comes down to 2 schools and 4 courses. But this does not end his considerations. He still has more factors to visit. His family and friends are starting to worry if he could ever make a final decision. It has finally come one day when everything was in place. Anton finally decides to enroll. He hurries to the school of his choice, but he's an hour late. The enrollment was just closed for his first choice. To add in more to his regrets, his second chosen program has also reached the maximum number of students, and it was closed days ago. Sad and full of regret, Anton goes home thinking of the lost time, overthinking his options, and that is because he can just not make up his mind. Processing questions. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. Number 1. Did you experience spending more time to make a decision that greatly affects you or your future just like Anton? Share your experience. Number 2. If you are in his situation, what would be your next move? Number 3. What should you do so you won't face the same problem as that of Anton? In time to help him out in choosing for the best school and course to take in college, what advice will you give Anton? Write your answer in a letter format on your notebook. Dear Anton. Activity number 3. Agree or disagree. On a separate sheet of paper, write agree or disagree on the given situations. Read each statement carefully to make sure that it best matches your opinion. Number 1. I cannot tell my best friend's parents about his smoking and drinking tendencies because I will betray his trust. Number 2. I should consider the advice of my parents when it comes to choosing my course in college. Number 3. Is it okay to take credit for other people's Number 3. Is it okay to take credit for other people's work as long as it serves a good purpose? Number 4. Choosing a career that will employ easily is more practical than pursuing a passion that will take years before getting a good earning. Number 5. The curriculum exit that you should choose after senior high school should best match the track and strand you are taking. Processing questions. Number 1. What are the factors that you considered in answering? Number 2. Do your experiences at this time of pandemic change the way you decide on things? In what way? Keep in mind, we make countless choices every day, from the very moment we open our eyes in the morning up to the time we fall back into our beds, and our choices are neither right nor wrong. According to Stephen J. Hine, author of the book Cultural Psychology, choice is something that is surely valued everywhere. However, the extent to which people value choices and exercise it is influenced by the context we are in. Ludwig Binswanger, an existential psychologist, explained that humans have complete freedom of choice or free will and are completely responsible for their own existence. There was always the possibility of becoming something new or better because of existence changes. How can you correct mistakes from the past? Change your mindset. Change is always a choice. You need to realize that you can control your own behavior and need to make better choices. Things don't just happen. You can take much more effective control of your life through planning. For instance, in your culture, there may be a stigma on the role of a man or woman. It is now up to you whether you want to live it up to that expectation or not. You may want to look into what science tells about healthy and unhealthy practices. According to American psychologist Gerald Corey, first thing is to explore what your wants, needs, and perceptions are. First, recognize, define, and refine how you wish to meet your needs. Number 2, focus on what you are doing at present and think of your future direction. Take action by changing what you are doing and thinking. Make a self-evaluation. It is your responsibility to evaluate your own behavior. Number 4, formulate your action plan. Creating and carrying out your plans enable you to gain a more effective control over your life. If your plan does not work, devise a different plan. Your commitment is essential to carry out your plans. Factors that affect our decisions. We act or decide based on different considerations and factors. Most especially if the situations demand a very important decision, we need to carefully assess our choices and calculate the risks that we might face. Environment. The people around us, including the current setup, affect the way we see things. They can influence our beliefs and perception on the consequences of our actions. There are times that we intend to compare how they face a certain problem with the way we face it ourselves. This is something that we need to get away from, as we are all different, including the situations we are in. Experiences. Our past encounter with people and the results of our decisions before mold how we act and decide today. For instance, if you have proven that a certain person should not be trusted with your secrets, then you won't entrust him or her the confidential matters that you have. Personal characteristics. We should also take into account the function of our culture, attitude, personality, beliefs, abilities, gender, health condition, and others in terms of our way of making a decision. You have to recognize that there are enabling and limiting aspects of your personal characteristics. Facts or data. It is a good practice to decide based on the merit of actual facts or data. It will definitely inform you on the exact scenario you are dealing with, and you can calculate how your decisions would impact the situation. Your decisions will define the kind of choices you are taking. At the end of the day, you will be the one to face whatever consequences these decisions bring. Hence, your decision-making process is very important. If you are in doubt or confused about your choices, you may want to go to someone who is well-trained to guide and facilitate your decision-making processes, like the Registered Guidance Counselor or RGC. If an RGC is not available in your school, you may consider getting the insights of your trusted teacher, parents, or adults. You can do it. Copy the following template on your notebook and list your alternative course of action on the following situations. Looking into my decisions. Number 5. Share your thoughts and feelings. On your notebook, write your personal experiences depicting right or wrong decisions you have made during this pandemic. Cite the reasons why you did such acts and how you resolved the issues. Thank you very much and see you again in the next module.